And welcome everybody to Saturday Night Futsal here at the FCS. And after last weekend's epic clashes, it does not get any better as playoff implications are on the line tonight. Innovation City making the trek over to the Canlan Sports Facility here in Libertyville, Illinois. Welcome everybody, I'm Chris Fernandez, and tonight is a must-win situation for the Chicago House in their final game of the season. As well as Innovation City coming off of their first ever victory here in the FCS, and it was an emphatic victory over a very difficult Zynga side, and the momentum will be going the way of Innovation City, and if they can pull off a win tonight over Chicago, they will leap into the 7th position, and more importantly, inch a little bit closer to that final and heavily coveted 6th playoff position. We can't wait. Kickoff is only minutes away, and it is going to be an epic battle. These two teams will leave everything on the line tonight, and there is going to be a big crowd here in Libertyville. What else are you doing on Valentine's Day? Well, I hope you got the dinner with your significant other out of the way, but tonight it is FCS, Saturday Night Futsal. Where else would you rather be? And we're going to go courtside, sitting with the coaches tonight with Chicago and Innovation. And we'll get their thoughts on today's pivotal matchup and what it's going to take to get the full 3 points. There we go. And with us right now, the head coach of Chicago, Gil Da Silva. Gil, tonight, a big match at home in front of a capacity crowd, a must-win situation. Tell us, what's the preparation looking like for tonight?
Yeah, look, this is going to be a very exciting game. We've prepared very hard all week for this one. We're not going to take Innovation lightly. We have a starting lineup that's strong, that's been playing together for a long time. So we intend to come out attacking real hard and defending well and making some good substitutions along the way to come out.
Well, you mentioned defensive priorities. To slow down a revitalized Hinojosa and the Akron attack, what's going to be the key elements tonight to neutralize them?
Keep the ball away from him. If you don't have the ball, he can't do much. So Vinny Arfixo is going to be back there. He's a good ball handler and hopefully stealing the ball and getting it up to our Alaz and then hitting our pivot. So main plan is keep the ball away from him as much as possible.
They talk about beating a solid defense out there. You have a great offense, particularly with Vinny Da Silva and Rafael Hernandez. They've been massive for you lately. In a game of this magnitude, are you looking for those individuals to take over, or is the message tonight more about a collective team structure and clinical finishing?
Look, our veterans know what they need to do, but it is a team sport, and everybody's involved in this one. We're coming out strong. Everybody's going to try and get their goals, set each other up for some awesome shots and goals, and our top guys, I expect them to produce tonight as well.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Coach, for joining us out there. Best of luck tonight. We can't wait to get started. And there we had Gil Da Silva from Chicago in a must-win situation. We know that this is a must-win scenario. He's been great as coach of Chicago, a lot of talent. And joining us shortly will be the head coach for Innovation, Matt Nolan. And we're now going to courtside with Innovation City head coach Matt Nolan.
Yeah, Hi there.
Welcome to the show, Matt. A big game coming off a massive win against Shinga last week in front of that capacity crowd at home. Now tell us, after securing that historic first win, Fabio Hinojosa mentioned that the impossible now feels believable. How has that shift in mindset changed the intensity and focus of your training sessions this past week?
So we went from a team where we're trying to get all of our outdoor guys to focus on futsal to now a team that we believe some of the things we've been working on are paying off. And, the long trip over here today, we were all kind of talking about a few things and just getting to know each other better. So I think that kind of mixing in with the things we've worked on in practice will pay off for us today.
Well, we've heard the team is focusing heavily on smart play and risk management tonight. Now, in a hostile environment like Canlan Sports and Libertyville, how do you ensure that your players stick to that disciplined game plan rather than getting caught up in the chaos?
It's going to be a lot of communication from myself as well as amongst themselves on the court because it's loud in here. They got different youth games going on, different arena soccer and stuff. So just trying to keep them focused, communicating to each other, and then just doing the things that we worked on in practice as well. That's going to, I think, do a lot for us.
Now, you're coming into tonight with what many are describing as a nothing-to-lose attitude. Does that free to make your squad more dangerous against the Chicago team that's playing under the ultimate pressure of elimination?
Oh yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. I was telling some of the guys, this is where we get to have fun. This is where you see a guy one-on-one, take him on, let's have some shots. That's what I told him. We've been through a lot of rough parts of this season. This is the fun part. We're still competing for some stuff. So, I think you might see a few little tricks and skills out there.
We can't wait to see it, Coach. Thank you for joining us, and best of luck in the match tonight.
Hey, thanks so much. Take care.
And that's Matt Nolan, head coach of Innovation City. And we are just moments away from the epic tilt. Chicago, at home, must-win situation tonight. And in their way is the emerging Innovation City side coming off the win last week. Something has to give, and that's only moments away from us finding out here on Valentine's Day on the Saturday night futsal here at the FCS. Welcome, everybody, to Saturday Night Futsal here at the FCS, and we couldn't ask for a better match tonight. Something has to give as the traveling Innovation City squad, coming off a big win last week against Shinga, take on the host Chicago House, who are in an absolute must-win situation tonight. 8 teams, only 6 can advance to the playoffs. And one of these teams is going to get a chance to do that if they can pull off all points tonight. Welcome, everybody. I'm Chris Fernandez, and we hope you enjoyed a lovely Valentine's Day. We hope you got some flowers, gave some flowers, had a beautiful meal, maybe even a little bit of glass of something to down it in, and now you're just settling in at home, ready to watch a big tilt here in the FCS. And it is going to be absolutely high-stakes stuff tonight. As we said, the postseason dreams are on the line. Both clubs are in a desperate fight for a playoff spot. And Innovation City are entering with a massive shift in mindset following their recent breakthrough win, which was 8-5 last week over Shinga. They no longer view winning as impossible. They arrive tonight in Libertyville with newfound confidence and an absolutely nothing-to-lose attitude. Meanwhile, the host Chicago must secure 3 points tonight to stay alive in the playoff race. After a tough 0-5 start to the season, Chicago has found a second win, largely fueled by the high-scoring performances of Vinny Da Silva and the defensive stability of Rafael Hernandez. For the House, a loss tonight signals pretty much the end of their 2026 campaign, and they are going to want to give their fans everything and then some tonight. We can't wait to get started. It is going to be something special, as it always is here in the FCS. got the action underway here in Libertyville at the full 40x20 FIFA regulation court. A beautiful hardwood maple as we see Innovation really looking to start strong as they did last week against Jinga. Pressing her Chicago, and not getting enough pepper on that sauce was the Ala. Now countering quickly is Innovation, not able to get the pass across the court as a wide open Andre Munoz. A man you do not want to be shooting solo on your goalkeeper. And that's the number one. Innovation will get the inbounds in Chicago territory. The first shot sailing over the crossbar. As we see the young Jose Escareño solid shot stopper as well as distribution with his hands. And being the goalkeeper duel tonight, obviously one of the factors as we see Chicago getting a shot deflected and now getting a corner kick. And wondering if the nerves are a little high given the massive stakes at hand over here. And whoever settles in first will certainly have the advantage. And the shot stopped by Balash. Balash finished the game last week strong en route to that 8-5 victory. Was a little bit shaky allowing that first goal on the first shot, but then settled in nicely and made a series of key stops. And it wasn't easy against the offensive prowess that Jinga possesses. Chicago breaking out, a key opportunity, finding on the far side, denied by Balash. A big first save, and now a counter 2v1. An Innovation hitting the side mesh. And both teams with a key opportunity within seconds of each other, still 0-0 here, 2.5 minutes into the opening half. Oh, giveaway almost picked up by Vinny Da Silva. That's the last man Innovation want to see going 1-0 with the keeper. Da Silva leading the team with 9 goals on the season, 13 points. And a solid slide will bring out the corner. As we take a look at that 2v1. Balash coming out to cover that angle. And it was a solid effort. Chicago pressing. And Balash coming out. The ball trickling behind. And the defender there to save the day. Balash with a .727 save percentage coming into the match. Played 42 minutes this season. Oh, the critical giveaway. See Chicago on the breakaway. And not able to connect with the back of the net was Jacob Chilinsky. And Chelinski's got 3 on the season himself. Not normally missing shots like that. And Innovation need to be super cautious about making brutal mistakes like that. Another shot, and it's the opening goal for Chicago. And that's exactly what the fans here in Libertyville wanted, and that's what they got. It was a far-range effort. And Balash kind of signaling that he didn't see too much. And cutting in that long-range effort by Rafael Hernandez. See Chicago up 1-0. Innovation pressing. Oh, beautiful pass. Absolutely clinical finish. And just like that, Innovation City have tied it at 1. Beautiful left-footed pass right on the money, and making no mistake whatsoever was Prince Chisha. Great work there by Jackson Davis to beat his defender clean. Left-footed pass, absolutely on the money. Might as well have had a magnet on that boot. And just like that, it's 1-1. We knew these teams were going to gun for it, and they're certainly doing that already. And this full 40-meter by 20-meter surface is really giving them the space to execute their speed and make the necessary cuts. Chicago will have the inbounds, looking to regain the advantage. They struck first, but Innovation showing a completely different side last week than they have all season, and they feel loose, they feel confident. You could hear it in Matt Nolan's voice as well in the pre-game interview. And he's going to take him 1v1. And coming out is Escareno. Quickly distributes the ball back. You see that Vinny Da Silva really looking on that far side to deliver and execute the pass. Been notorious for it all year. Not just deadly with his goal-scoring abilities, but as an assist man, he's got 4 on the campaign. And another great run as the shot. Oh, looks like it was tipped out by Escareno. And it will indeed be a corner for Innovation. No, the referee signaling instead that the shot was wide. And so far, we have seen Jackson Davis just exploit that left flank. He's got a great long stride in the outdoor game, and over here when he has the space, if you give it to him in futsal, he's going to take advantage every single time. There we see the hero from last week, the man who scored a hat-trick, Benjamin Ivan. Oh, wonderful pass into the corner. Oh, Innovation are just feeling so loose. They're get that Joga Benito style. A lot of cross-range stuff that we didn't see in their first 6 games of the season. But last week and this week, they're really starting to feel it. Some heavy pressure up top, easily handled, and coming out now is Chicago. Chicago still pressuring, will get a corner. We saw cool and calm play by Rafael Hernandez under pressure in his own zone. have to think that Chicago's number 7 is going to be a pivotal part of the match tonight. Jacob Chelinski now for Chicago, working cohesively with a preferred partner, Daniel Megalon. And Chicago getting through, and they get it in the back of the net. Oh, another defensive lapse by Innovation, costing them dearly, as Chicago taking a 2-1 lead as the ball trickles and tapped in by Felipe Maraquin. The pivot at the right place at the right time. Nobody marking them whatsoever. And Innovation lost their shape, and as a result, find themselves down 2-1 just past the 6-minute mark here in the opening half. Innovation going forward, but a mishit, resulting now in the goal clearance. This is the final game of the season for Chicago, as we see Escareno making the save. He knows what's at stake. They played 9 games so far. They've been 2-2 in their last 4. A win tonight would see them leapfrog Midwest and go tied with Jinga. Of course, Midwest, considerable amount of games in hand. As we see Jackson Davis. Oh, lays it up. Beautiful pass and a great stop by Escareno to prevent Innovation from tying it again. Solid work by Jackson Davis to get that ball over. He's made a series of amazing passes so far in the first half. He does better with this full-size court, which allows him to exploit all the space. He's got that long stride. Kicks it over the bar. That'll go the full range length as Balash will pick it up. A bit too harsh of a pass, not able to be handled by Davis. Chicago with the scoop. Handled nicely by Benjamin Ivan. Trusted defender for Innovation, scoring the hat trick last week. Davis had his pocket picked. Chicago pressing forward. And it's the man who tapped it in, leading the attack, but now Innovation getting their chances. Solid slide by Felipe Maraquin. As we take a look at the Chicago staff, led by Gil Da Silva, who we spoke with earlier. He's confident in front of the home crowd, knows what's at stake. And of course, Ramon Hernandez with him on the sideline. Oh, great effort by Daniel Magalon. Not able to hit the mark. As we take a look at Magalon. The inbounds going over the bar. And a bit of a collision, but no foul called as Balash confident to come out. And the scoop pass intended for one of his favorite targets, Hinojosa. Just going past, but innovation. Keeping it with the nice scoop. Oh, beautiful pass. Not able to connect on it, though. And the deflection off of DeLucia. Innovation with a key chance. And solid defending to kind of throw off the rhythm of innovation allowed Escareno to come out and make the save, as we see Hinojosa scored in last week's match. It was the second of the season. He's got the height. They love him in the pivot position with those long legs, able to take time as we see him relinquish the ball there. Innovation looking to exploit space. It was a great move. A little bit of hands on him. Wondering if that'll be a rolling accumulative or not. And that's a foul called by the official, who was only meters away. We see the big broad shoulders of Felipe Metaquin. Loves to be involved in the play at both ends of the court. He's aggressive defensively. Got a taste of that right there. And Innovation now will have a corner. Oh, a beautiful finish in the top corner. Unbelievable finish by Innovation, and they tie it up. And just like that, we are even at 2. The set play right on the money as Fabio Hinojosa, completely open, goes right into the heart of that defensive square, talks it up in the top corner. Wonderful finish, and that's the kind of finishing you're going to need to get into the FCS playoffs, and Innovation are really feeling it now. And now we're pressing once more. On the attack, but sliding out, Escareno doing a great job. Saw the danger there. Oh, and a wide open Hinojosa, and he knows it. Goes down to his knees and puts his head in his hands. Oh. If they are unable to win tonight, he'll be having nightmares about that one. Giveaway from the inbounds, forcing Escareno to make the save, and Innovation now getting their 6th corner kick of the half. As we take a look at young Jose Escareno. What a great defensive play. Sees Innovation continuing to press. Oh, beautiful rollover with that foot. Oh, great cut. And Escareno coming out to the top of the crease. And preventing that is Chicago with a chance. Beautiful move. Oh, but just sticking it into the gut of Brandon Balash. And each team with key opportunities in the last minute. And that one denied by Balash. The rebound going off of the defender for a corner for Chicago. And there we see Brandon Balash coming into the match with 24 saves on the season. Yet to get a win, loss, or a draw on his record. This is his fourth match of the season. And you can tell that Matt Nolan has great trust in him to start this pivotal match. Throw by Balash, not able to be handled by Gianni Ciarlariello. And there we see the confident Matt Nolan has got his team playing completely different from at the beginning of the season. It is no easy task to take 3 points from Ginga, but he led that last week. And so far, his team looks solid today, although the referee in that scenario is going to call an accumulated foul against Innovation. And if you're new to futsal, each team is allowed up to 5 accumulated fouls per half, and any foul that they commit after results in an unopposed 10-meter penalty. And that resets at half. Truly leads to some spectacular offensive play while penalizing overly aggressive defending. Chicago now coming out of their half and into Innovation zone. Looking to get that shot off, but going behind the goal. Solid work defensively by Innovation. And they'll reset. Wide space on that left flank. It's something that Innovation have exploited all first half. I'm surprised they haven't been doing it more. Anytime you saw Benjamin Ivan or Jackson Davis down there, they were just sprinting and galloping like wild stallions. And there's Jackson again on the left. A 2v1. Opts for the shot. And it was not a good one. And there we have it, the great ginger, Jackson Davis. He's feeling that space tonight. And Chicago is certainly going to want to stop him. And they do. Almost that, but Balash denies them. Both teams with serious chances to take the lead, but not able to grab that proverbial brass ring just yet. And not getting the rotation right was Innovation. And a hard shot from about 15 meters out goes left of the goal. talked about a possible goalkeeping duel being effective as Chicago press, and the right shot is coming. Getting down low in a butterfly position was Balash. Escudeno versus Balash. In a game this tight, a single save on a 10-meter PK or a 2v1 could decide the season. Both coaches trusting their respective keepers. Oh, a risky tackle, but an effective one by Benjamin Ivan. And again, Ivan with the tackle and now countering. Oh, great moves. If he could have got that in, that would have been one of the goals of the year. And a foul called against Chicago. Ivan was able to get the shot off. And we'll have another look. Ivan looking for the shot. And that is 2 fouls apiece here in the first half for each team, with just slightly over 5 minutes remaining. 2-2 here on Saturday Night Futsal here at the FCS. And Davis with another crisp pass. His passing has been almost laser precision so far. Brilliantly getting the ball over to Prince Chisha for that opening innovation goal. An infraction called as innovation. Marching forward but giving up the ball was Chisha. Coming into the match to get some minutes is Arturo Zarzar. Was in the right place in the right time. A solid pass cross court, finds innovation open, but it appeared to go out of bounds. And it's that blue line on the bottom of your screen that's the out of bounds. Zarzar sticking close to his man, forcing Chicago now to get this dead ball scenario from the corner. It's Vinny Da Silva who will take it in. As we take a look at Moises Mayanza getting his first minutes of the match. Lays it off. Mayanza's not able to connect with it. 4 goals on the campaign from 6 matches. Innovation, forcing the quick shot was Fabio Hinojosa, already on the score sheet tonight. Wondered if he had held it, they had a 2v1 scenario there. But when the man feels it, he feels it. He scored last week, scored tonight. Jackson Davis, he loves to shoot. In that situation there, innovation shot going nowhere near the goal as Chicago pressed forward. And Zarzar again with another block. Wasn't so strong defensively last match, but tonight hasn't really given Chicago much to work with in space, and that's the kind of defensive plays you're going to need to defeat this talented Chicago team. Chicago with a little bit of space. Taking the shot, and they'll get the inbounds. Just about 2.5 minutes remaining here in the opening half. 2-2 Chicago and Innovation City. Oh, wide open net! And not able to connect as the ball goes out for another Chicago quarter. As we take a look at Zarzar tying up his boots. Great pass going into the goal area. And a 1v1 scenario. Calmly collected and put out. Great defensive work. It's not easy to stifle the likes of Vinny Da Silva. Number 10 for Chicago with the ball, getting the inbounds now. And a foul called against Chicago. Zarzar will lead it off again with Hinojosa. Looking to get in the pivot position. A great little pass to try and get over to Jonathan DeLucia. Just not able to get a good first touch on it. And Balash looking for that long-range NFL throw. Escudeno opting for the opposite, rolling it on there. Doesn't want a 50-50 scenario. He wants to make sure every pass gets to his team. Oh, great layoff. And that appeared to be blocked by the defender, Zarzar. That certainly looked like it was going on target. And Innovation have seemed to really shore up their defense at the back. And that's something they struggled with all season. Tonight, what better time to make sure you're defensively sound. Their offense hasn't been half bad either. 2 goals so far. 3 or 4 other key opportunities to capitalize. And with what's at stake, you just absolutely have to believe that this match is going to go down to the final seconds. And another thing we've seen by Innovation City is just how high they're pressing Chicago when the House have their possession in their own half. Innovation aren't scared anymore. They're not timid. And they are now on the attack, but not able to pull the trigger. Oh, a big-time stop by Escudeno. Another key chance for Innovation City. The ball's still in play. Hinojosa getting it over to Jonathan DeLucia, puts it over the bar. And that's the end of the first half. An early thriller with so many key chances. Chicago 2, Innovation 2. There's only 20 minutes left. And we will be back for that halftime. Something has to give here on Saturday Night Futsal at the FCS. Some big goals, some juicy saves, some great footwork. And we'll take a look at the halftime stats. 2-2, obviously the biggest one. 13 to 11 in shots, slightly in favor of Chicago House. But each team with critical opportunities. 9 versus 7 in corners for Innovation. And Chicago with 6 steals. 2 blocks versus Innovation's 3. And the foul count was 3-2. But as we know, that 2-2 at the big font at the top is the biggest factor. Both teams dead even. This game could go either way. But one thing's for sure is that's going to go down to the wire as we see both teams making their way to the dressing room. Going to be very curious to hear what Matt Nolan tells his Innovation City side and what adjustments Gil Da Silva needs to make with Chicago. And we will be back shortly. Do not miss it. We hope you're enjoying this amazing Valentine's Day match between the Chicago House and Innovation City. And we'll see you in just a few minutes to get kicked off for the second half of this epic match with playoff implications. Something has to give. That's what the FCS is all about. Join us back in a few minutes.
To shield the ball, to not let Pasovic come through, and just to prevent, I mean, Pasovic is pulling at him, just prevent any
ball. Being the rocket it is, that could cause some trouble tonight for Fabian Rodriguez in goal.
They're currently down 2.
Shoreline, big time.
Here's Hindich at the
right
near
off
post.
it, and the rebound slaps it in there. And Shoreline just continuing to lay it on thick.
What a placement.
Yeah, fantastic.
From number 9, Medina Hindich. Take another look.
That's what, you know, Ole has to be frustrated with the goalkeeping.
To play an escape game with your friends. Great idea. Test your
gonna be
skills
the best
as an
people.
astronaut in outer space.
Best people
Find
on
Santa
the yeah,
this Christmas.
you know, I mean, we really
Or
hadn't
take
even
a
talked about him
vacation
yet.
to an
Today.
abandoned island. Just don't get stuck there. The Pod Escape Room. Learn more at thepodlansing.com.
Tonight, the first ever FIFA Women's Futsal World Cup takes place at Detroit. Go in and they get the first of the night. Wonderful work deep into the Jenga zone. There was Detroit Imperial, and we see them with a sigh of relief after opportunity after opportunity. And who else? Depoche to Abdullah Assal.
Kenzie plays it in. Gets it right back to Ramsey Termanini. Weisenhunt's across. Whoa! Hold up! Ramsey Termanini from the circle.
And just like that, Jenga is back in this match. What a shot from Termanini from deep.
My.
Unbelievable. He unleashes just power.
Placement to the upper 90 back post, and the lead is ultimately asking the question, like, was this the best match of futsal on U.S. soil? From a perspective of an entire 40 minutes of futsal, 2 teams that are playing really good futsal. It's back and forth, but not because it's chaotic.
The intensity just kept increasing.
Yeah.
And it started at kickoff.
Very little drop-off or mistake, and they just keep playing that really good futsal. This is what it's supposed to look like right here. There's no doubt that the environment, it's a part of what makes the game what it is. But I think like this is a game that if you took all that away and you just watched the game, it would be amazing still. Like if I'm a fan of Midwest and I watch that game we have what I would be, in my opinion, one of the best keepers in the league. And he's not playing the second half.
And to Marco, what we saw, he gave up 6 goals. Lucario was in there for 20 minutes. First half, didn't give up any. And so, that's a huge disparity.
You're watching the Futsal Champions Series on FCS Live.
They're currently down 2. Here's Hindich at the near post. She slots it in. What a placement.
Yeah, fantastic
from number 9,
placement.
Medina Hindich. We take another look.
That's what,
wow.
Ole has to be frustrated with the goalkeeping. He's going to be the best pivot in the league. Best pivot in the league. Yeah, we really hadn't even talked about him yet today. So incredible on the ball. His ability to hold up play, his ability to allow the offense to run through him, his creativity, his ability to capture the ball and spin and shoot and score. It's just really one of the best in the league. Him and Trezor Crispane, I think, are the best, the most solid traditional pivots that we have in the league.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised with how we did. I feel like we did compete to the level that we could. I think you could definitely tell our lack of experience. I think some of our goals were generally just some mistakes, and I think it's a combination of nerves and just not having the experience playing at the pace that we were playing. It's really fast, and I think if we tighten that up, we could have stayed.
Yeah.
Really there with them, which is cool. I think for our first game, especially going against a team like Ole, I was really proud of the way we played.
Yeah. Things inside towards the left with Madison McCarthy, and they get it into the back of the net. That was Jenna Lee, number 4.
Great build-up play right here from Lansing City, just to continue to work it in. Jenna Lee made a fantastic play. You want to make that pass to the back foot and really give your teammate an opportunity just to slide it home first time, but Aldama was not able to handle it.
Midwest are able to work it up. How about this back post? A pretty goal. Raul Montañez doubles the lead.
Look, Aldama could not handle the pass to put it away himself, so he said, you know what, Montañez, I'm going to give it back to you, Raul. With a little back heel flick, just roll over, give it back to him. Montañez.
You're watching the Futsal Champions Series on FCS Live.
the attack.
Kleppel now with it. Space inside. Shot. He finds the back of the net. Lansing City up by 1.
We haven't said it yet this season, but what a rocket from Jeremy Kleppel across.
Lyle turning his back, trying to get in front of it and also protect himself as Kleppel finds the side net and gives Lansing.
Committing a crime so you can try to escape from prison. Bad idea. Go into the pod escape room to play an escape game with your friends. Great idea. Test your skill as an astronaut in outer space. Find Santa in Save Christmas. Or take a vacation to an abandoned island. Just don't get stuck there. The Pod Escape Room. Learn more at thepodlansing.com.
Nice run out of here at Lansing City. Oh, excellent play. Lansing City with a goal. We were just talking about Ole's ability to make the extra pass, and wouldn't you know it, Lansing City does the same exact thing.
Just to comment about Jenga, another reason why the story is different this year for Lansing City is Jenga's team looked a lot better on the road than it did last year.
They did, yeah, they looked a lot better, and that's the part for me that I start to wonder about is some of these tactical decisions, because they have the effort, they're getting more talented players like Ewal Bagassi. He looked like a really strong player, and he's new to futsal as well. Shota Takabarake, he continues to have an impact every time he comes out.
Keeper play was good.
Yeah, keeper play was
Clemson. Like, if I'm a fan of Midwest and I watch that game, and we have what I would be, in my opinion, one of the best keepers in the league, and he's not playing the second half.
And to Marco, what we saw, he gave up 6 goals. Vicario was in there for 20 minutes, first half, didn't give up any. And so, that's a huge disparity.
You're watching the Futsal Champions Series on FCS Live.
Sliding tackle, and if Montez saved that, outstanding effort as well.
Lansing City in the attack, moving it. Blanco, did he make it? He did, says the referee. Goal number 4 for Lansing City. They pull ahead.
It was a pass to Blanco.
Yeah, Blanco
got it.
Yeah, Blanco touched it. Did you hear me say Blanco puts it away? That's all right. It hit the inside back post. For Lansing City, they're the new pieces that looked promising in the Jenga game. Alec Nas, Alessandro Blanco, Ali Ahmed, Benny Alashari, Beto Espinal, the new players, and the growth of Jack Fisher, Drew Barney, physically and just in the game. Addition of Diego Bobadilla, we didn't see him in the last game, but I expect to see him here. I think that promising play from Ethan Castaneda, that is going to face a true test here. I mean, it will. You know, you could say it's the ultimate test. Perhaps the ultimate test would be Ole away, maybe. But, you know, obviously you're playing the best team in the league that has shown that. So it's kind of like what is the state of these promising pieces for Atlantic City and maturity? What is the state of that? And I just have to mention before we move on here, that game was so amazing. You know how many players under the age of 20 were part of it?
A lot.
Oh my goodness.
A lot of them.
Ethan Castaneda, there's been times where something that he does in the game is exposed, or mistakes and things like that. He was amazing in this game. Last week against Jinga he was, and in this game he played really well, and I think the things that Lansing City have been investing in are starting to pay off. Gomez putting heavy pressure on. And here he is. He finishes. Ole go up by 1.
And when you think about the addition.
Welcome to the Ally Marketing Halftime Show. Ally Marketing, let's be friends.
And we are back for the second half here in Libertyville, Illinois. And it is going to be a phenomenal final 20 minutes. Chicago House 2, Innovation City 2. Chicago needing to win or they are out of the 2026 FCS playoffs. Innovation City still have a few games left in the season, but a win tonight would not only see the House eliminated, but would see City leapfrog into the 7th place, creeping up on that coveted 6th position currently held by Midwest. And to be a fly on the wall of the dressing rooms, to hear what these coaches want. And the first shot attempted in the second half is by Chicago. And that was Ivan Sereno. Wondering if Chicago can crack this nut that is the Innovation City defense. Something you would never have said in the opening 6 games of their season. But boy, if they really turn things around, starting with last week's win against Jinga and only conceding 2 tonight. The game's been very relatively even, but this has been the best Innovation City have played all season. They know what's at stake. And they know that they want to get into the playoffs in their inaugural season here in the Futsal Champions Series. And if Chicago are going to win, you have to figure that Vinny Da Silva and Rafael Hernandez are going to be key components of that. The big stars of Chicago going to step up, but right now it's Innovation. And a solid right-hand save by Jose Escareno, preventing Innovation from taking the lead. And he's been strong so far between the pipes tonight for Chicago. As we see Andre Munoz, the number 1 for Innovation, solid last week against Jinga in that victory, and tonight has certainly punched above his weight as he takes the corner now. Instead of the volley going for the flick. Chicago quickly on the counter. The shot! Ooh, that did not miss by much. And Chicago now with a corner of their own. Chicago pressing, looking for that back-footed roll. It was anticipated by Zarzar. And instead, Luigi Marquez opted to go on his own. As we see Brendan Balash. Second throw, this time going to long range, finding his intended man. Oh, great move. A little bit of hand on the jersey. No call by the official. Could be a rolling. Big chance. Oh, big stop by Escareno. That's about 4 headers in a row. Something you don't see too much in futsal. Oh, big chance and a bigger stop by Jose Escareno. Doing everything he can in goal. And that is Fabio Hinojosa, who's already on the score sheet tonight with a point-blank chance. And taking that step out to cover the angle was Escareno. And a 2v1. Ooh, just hitting the back heel in a big desperate slide. Preventing, but a foul. Seemingly called. We'll have another look at what happened. Yeah, it was a collision. And Marquez just got caught up. And a bit of a trip up on the Innovation defender. First accumulated foul of the half going against Chicago. Just 2.5 minutes into the second half. As we see Fabio Hinojosa. The Bolivian-born player featured on the FCS show, The Third Half, with Jeremy Kleppel earlier this week. It was an excellent episode. Everything is archived on the FCS YouTube channel. You make sure you tune in every Thursday live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 Central Time. That's the third half, the official show of the Futsal Champions Series. Oh, the 2v1 now. Chicago slow to get back. And again, bailing them out was Escareno. Innovation getting a couple of key chances early on here in the second half. Long-range pass, calmly put out by the Chicago defense. And Jackson Davis looking for the player on the far side of the court. Nobody was near that. And there just seems to be a lack of cohesion with the Chicago house tonight. They've capitalized on Innovation's mistakes at the back. And there was a great chance for the house to take the lead, courtesy of a solid pass by Ivan Sereno. Chicago pressing, a lot of space to take the shot. What a goal! That is exactly what the house needed, and the house is on fire. 3-2. We talked about how Just recently, they were not really getting the cohesion, but boom, up there in the top corner, absolutely nothing Brandon Balash could do about it. Fantastic strike, and we knew that Rafael Hernandez had to be a key part of it. The big players needed to step up, and the trusted winger delivering for Chicago, and that's exactly what they needed. And if they could use that momentum, and they almost buried a fourth with a beautiful far post pass, but not able to connect, was Ivan Sereno. Chicago getting a second wind. A very risky pass there by Prince Gisha. Would have resulted in a 2-on-0 situation. And you can't be making passes like that when so much is at stake. And Chicago now feeling it. It was almost as if I jinxed them on the reverse. Talked about the lack of cohesion, and they've just really stepped it up instantly, taken the lead, and now trying to exploit Innovation at the back. And Innovation were almost unstoppable at the back for the final 10 minutes of the opening half. And an attempt to come out along the left was by Benjamin Ivan, who surprisingly hasn't had as many minutes as we expected after his hat-trick performance last week against Ginga. It's an amazing thing about futsal. Swings like a pendulum, the momentum does. Switching keepers. A risky play, in my opinion, coming into the matches. Angel Conduri. Jose Escareño was having a fantastic game, and really the key reason why Chicago are leading 3-2. We saw Innovation do that last week. And the confidence that Gil da Silva has in his keepers must be high. Angel Conduri likes to play as an attacking keeper. And you'll start to see him coming out and trying to take advantage of the attacking keeper. So it's very similar to ice hockey, where you take the keeper off and you add an extra player, but in Conduri's case, he's able to do both. This saves a little bit of time on the substitutions that are on the fly. Conduri coming out, but the miscue between him and Hernandez resulting in an inbounds, which Davis will take. As we see Benjamin Ivan getting a breather. He's certainly going to finish this match with a few more shifts. So integral to this Innovation side is Ivan. And City turn it over to Chicago. bump between players and an accumulated foul will be called against Felipe Marroquin. He's got those big shoulders. We saw that in the first half, and he got a second here. If he doesn't have a career in futsal, you know that someone's looking for a big defensive linebacker. As we see the left-footed rocket just going wide right of the goal. Chicago pressing forward. Wide open was Marroquin, but just not able to connect and beat Balash. And just about over 12 and a half minutes remaining here in the match. Chicago with the razor-thin 3-2 lead. We take a look at Matt Nolan, the head coach of Innovation City. Looking to build off that win last week. They've been playing well tonight, despite being down by a goal. And the hard shot by Jackson Davis going off the hands of Konduri. And Innovation now with a corner. Can they make something out of this dead ball scenario? A scoop and header to Hinojosa, not getting on target. Hinojosa, as we said, scoring tonight. And that's his third of the season. And he would just love to get the brace and make this game even. But for Innovation, the draw is likely not going to be enough. They don't want to give up any points. If they win, they leapfrog Chicago. But they got to tie it up first. They got plenty of time to do that. The brilliance of futsal, as we saw in the first half, goals can be scored in seconds. Valiant attempt to put the ball into the goal area, but no one there. And a light shot from a tight angle handled by Balash. It's a great throw, finding DeLucia. DeLucia trying to go solo and find Hinojosa. Could have made an attempt. He did score with his head last week. As we take a look at the nervous Gil Da Silva and Ramon Hernandez. Got to be happy with this 3-2 performance so far. They understand that if they lose tonight, they're out. But so far, they're in the driver's seat. And a win tonight. See Chicago leapfrog Midwest United. Finally kicking out is Hinojosa as we see a player down from Innovation City grabbing his ankle. That is not something you want to see, especially to Andre Munoz, a key part of this Innovation City side. And he is clutching at that right ankle and grimacing in pain. This is the 6th match of the season Munoz has played. So far, with 1 goal and 2 assists on the season, is the young winger. And Munoz getting some help by Balash. Not able to put any pressure on that. You see Matt Nolan has to be frustrated, losing the likes of Munoz. Chicago pressing, a key chance. Denied by Balash. And that was a pivotal save. It's a great ball in. And not able to tuck it away was Marroquin. He's had a couple of cheap chances tonight. And opting to take it solo was Hinojosa. And no foul called as a 2v1 emerges for Innovation. And coming back in time is Marroquin to team up with Condurti to deny the big man, who is now down on the ground himself. He's looking for the foul call. And like Munoz was clutching at that right ankle. He stays in with a key chance now. Oh, big stop by Brandon Balash. And Chicago will have the corner. Balash keeping Innovation's playoff hopes alive. He's made 2 saves in the last 60 seconds alone. And it's not often that Vinny Da Silva is denied, the leading goal scorer for this team. 9 on the campaign. Love to get into the double digits. As we see a yellow card given over to Matt Nolan. He's very unhappy. And it might have to do with the ankle of Andre Munoz and Fabio Hinojosa. No calls being given. Oh, and a misplay. See Chicago on the break. And a foul by Benjamin Ivan, getting the yellow card. And honestly, that was a good foul to take, because the shot would have been on target likely. As we saw Gianni Vivero on a breakaway. And that foul against Innovation City, resulting now in a Chicago House free kick. And a smart play by Benjamin to take the yellow card. And now Innovation retaining possession. Ooh, getting low was Balash to deny that cross-crease pass. Chicago playing a little tighter defensively, preventing Innovation from having a little more free flow, but getting some space, almost. They still retain possession into Chicago's half. A great move. That'll be rolling a cumulative. Oh, and on the line to deny Innovation the tying goal. And Chicago on a 3v0. Oh my goodness, the miss pass intercepted by Balash. And now it's a 3v1 for Innovation. And they blow it. And now Chicago again on the attack. A 3-on-1. Far side hits the post. Unbelievable stuff in the last 30 seconds. This is crazy. Only in the FCS are you going to get that kind of back and forth action from end to end. Wow. And Chicago going in wide open net, and that's the 4th. Chicago doubling up their lead. Now up 4-2 with 8:30 remaining in the second half. And Chicago patiently exploiting the open gap left by Innovation. And it's Gianni Vivero giving a critical 2-goal lead to Chicago. And Innovation's playoff hopes are on thin ice right now. Oh, the rebound off the post, and that would have been the 5th had he been able to connect. And Innovation have just collapsed defensively in the last minute or so. Great move by Davis, looking for his man. Davis's pass has been absolutely precision to the point of a surgical knife, and you have to think that he's going to be able to play a big role in a couple of shifts to find his intended targets. His favorites being Fabio Hinojosa and Prince Chisha. And an overthrow by Balash will see Chicago retain possession in their own half. And we see that shot by Gianni Vivero, who just scored mere 15-20 seconds earlier. And will that come back to haunt Chicago? And not too many people in the crease for Innovation. You have to think that they're going to really have to press, as we haven't really seen Angel Conduri tested. We saw a great performance by Jose Escareño in that first half. Big reason why Chicago are not down and now hold that 4-2 lead. So we see a great spot by Davis, but he ran out of real estate on that blue touch line. Chisha putting it out, resulting in a Chicago corner with 6:52 left on the clock. Gil da Silva and Hernandez are going to be happy, but we all know a 2-goal lead in futsal is one of the most dangerous ones. And now we see the confidence of Conduri coming out as the attacking keeper. Once he passes his opponent's the halfway line and gets into his opponent's zone, he can touch the ball for as long as he wants and receive as many passes as he wants. But when he's in his own half, he only can hold possession for 4 seconds. And he can't get the ball more than once unless it touches the other team. And now we have a timeout called. And looking to reset. And as we take the timeout break, we got to show some love to the supporters of futsal, and what a great supporter they have been. When you need your marketing needs, there's only one place to go, and that's with your friends. That's with Ally. Ally Marketing. Let's be friends. As we see Matt Nolan giving the instructions, telling his boys, hey, we were doing really well in the first half, opening couple of minutes here. Let's go. Let's get our heads back into this. Our playoff hopes are on the ropes. He's putting his speedy guys with great passing capabilities back on, and that's with Davis and Prince Chisha. And, of course, Benjamin Ivan on the yellow card coming back in. Oof, nah. Ball hitting the back of a Chicago player. No damage done. Can Benjamin Ivan lead his team back into this? He has 6.5 minutes to do so. We see Davis on the right flank. Had great success exploiting the left in the first. Davis showcasing what he can do as Benjamin gets the ball. Wide open chance, and they do it! And it appears to go down. But Innovation City with a critical third goal and cuts the deficit now down to 1, courtesy of Benjamin Ivan. And a beautiful feed. Easily getting to the foot of Ivan, and literally seconds before he scored, we said if they had ambitions of getting into this and winning, that they would need Benjamin Ivan to step up, and he has done just that. And another chance! Oh, and Prince Chisha not even hitting the target. And that would have been absolutely devastating to Chicago had Prince Chisha notched that. And a sigh of relief by the fans here at the Canlan Sports Center in Libertyville. And Davis looking to go and use that explosive space. Hard work by Oliver Lagan. Hasn't seen much action tonight, but he does love to get into it when he's given the opportunity. He's got a solid cut laterally. Chicago get the 5th. And it all resulted off the slide. It appeared to be Benjamin Ivan sliding to prevent the goal. But what happened was in the time that he slid the ball back into Chicago's zone, the defender found his marker, and Ivan was just getting up. And quick thinking from Chicago's Fixo to put the ball up, as we have some words chirping. We see a yellow card issued, and it's going to Jacob Chilinsky. The yellow card going to Chicago's number 25. Chilinsky with 3 goals and 5 points on the campaign. The Polish-American looking to kill some minutes in a accumulated foul called as part of that as well. Thought it was just a little bit of chirping to the refs. As we see the shin guard lost by Arturo Zazar. Just when you thought Innovation had the momentum, cutting that deficit down to 4-3, Chicago coming back to score their 5th. Looking for a 6 are the House, but the block denied, and the time is ticking on Innovation City's playoff hopes. Great layoff by the pivot, picked up by Balash. Finds his target, but seeing that a mile away was Angel Kanduri. Chilinsky happily working together with Kanduri to eat the clock, putting Innovation on their heels. And the risk with taking out your keeper to come in as the attacking player leaves that net wide open. And if Innovation are able to capitalize on that, then we are having a real wild final 4 minutes here in Libertyville. Innovation. Needs some magic now. Davis with Hinojosa. And Balash finding his man. No foul called to Chicago, come out of their zone. And no foul called there either. Davis on a 2v1. Oh, and the pass back just missing the foot of Jackson Davis. And you have to think, when exactly is Matt Nolan going to take out Balash for an extra attacker? They're down by 2, their playoff hopes on the line. They're not technically eliminated if they lose this, but that goal just might put the final nail in the coffin of Innovation City's season. And a rocket of a shot going low. And that is the completion of the hat trick for Rafael Hernandez. 4 points on the night. And no bigger goal than that. And surely Matt Nolan needs to take out Brandon Balash and put in the extra attacker. They have absolutely nothing left to lose. They came in playing like that. That attitude was solid, and they were doing a great job, but just defensively, they just took the pressure off and fell back. Chicago capitalized. And now a commanding 6-3 lead with less than 3 minutes remaining. And Chicago smelled blood in the water as Konduri puts the shot on Balash, resulting now in a corner for Chicago. And a 2v1 for Innovation. And sliding out is Konduri. Matt Nolan knows the time is ticking. 2.5 left. Konduri finding his man on the left, taking the shot and missing the goal. And a mishit by Oliver Lagon. They had a 2v1. I'm not sure why he decided to do an aerial pass like that. And down 6-3. Just absolutely shocking not to see the attacking keeper come out for Innovation City. They need to put the pressure on this Chicago House team. And on Konduri, who hasn't really been tested much. The Chicago House defense doing a much better job in the second half. Konduri palming the ball out for an Innovation corner as Zazar will take the inbounds. And finally, the attacking keeper comes out. And the shot going over the bar. The long-range effort. Just the miscommunication. Oliver Lagon has just missed critical passes, and he has his hands in his hair, and he knows why. He's trying to find Jonathan DeLucia on the right flank. A solid job by Chicago's pivot, and that is the 7th goal. Beautifully laid off and tapped in by the left foot, and indeed it is all smiles as Cholinsky gets the 7th. Beautiful layoff, courtesy of Jordi Mosquera. It's a great job for the pass to find the pivot, and Mosquera beautifully laid that off for Cholinsky, who made no mistake about it. And that's going to be it for Innovation City, albeit they're not technically eliminated from FCS playoff contention. Their negative goal difference after this, it would take a monumental change to catch up to both Chicago and Midwest. As the shot from the attacking keeper going wide. And it was a valiant attempt, particularly in the opening 20-25 minutes for Innovation City. But Chicago House made the right adjustments. Gil Da Silva and Ramon Hernandez telling their team, hey, this is exactly what we need to change up if we're going to beat these guys and get into the playoffs. And it was a must-win game. And with $1:30 left on the clock, Chicago are in the driver's seat. Will need some help as Midwest have 4 games in hand. The long-range pass. Innovation again mishandled. Chicago looking for an 8th. They want more. The House with the corner. Opting for Kanduri to come out. He sits at the top of that Pentagon attack. Chisha brings it in. Scored for Innovation tonight. Oh, beautiful deflection that just seemed to get a tip that went to the crossbar. And that's the kind of second half it's been for Innovation City. And the open net, bringing the lead to 5 as Chicago, courtesy of who else? Your cousin, my cousin Vinny Da Silva. And Da Silva with double digits. The leading goal scorer for Chicago, the fabulous number 10. And that's an emphatic statement from Chicago. Came into the match with the worst goal difference in the league at -35. Right now at -30 with this 5-goal victory. If they can add one more, that'll obviously be cut more. But more importantly, it's going to be giving them the confidence for next season. And if they're able to make the playoffs, again, they're going to need help from the rest of the FCS teams, as Chicago will temporarily go into the 6th and final playoff spot. But again, Midwest, even though they will be down by 2 points, still have 4 games in hand to do so. And it won't be easy. As the final horn sounds here in Libertyville, Illinois, the Chicago House, in a must-win situation, deliver for their fans with an emphatic 8-3 victory over Innovation City. And it was a tale of 2 halves. Innovation City playing great in the first half. And the heroics of goalkeeper Jose Escareño from Chicago keeping them in the game. Da Silva opting to take Escareño out early in the second half and putting in Angel Kanduri. And Kanduri very, very confident on the ball, attacking and really putting Innovation on the heels. And some solid finishing, particularly from Rafael Hernandez, the hat-trick hero tonight. As we take a look at the final stats, 49-37 in assists. We know that's a mistake, but the shot certainly wasn't. 30-20 in favor of Chicago. Innovation getting the edge, 21-18 in corners. 11 steals versus Innovation 6. 9-8, Chicago having the edge in blocks, 7-6 in fouls. And a few cards on the table, but the most important number on that sheet is 8-3, Chicago. Now leaping up into 6, the final playoff spot. And it is going to be a fantastic finish to this FCS season, as the road to Lansing at the end of March for the FCS Men's, Women's, and Futures Championships will all take place. An epic futsal festival, as we see smiles on the faces of the Chicago House players and staff. And why not, after that great second half performance? 8-3 the final score. Certainly, Rafael Hernandez, the player of the match with his 3 goals and an assist. And that'll do it for us tonight in Libertyville, Illinois. We hope you enjoyed that match between the Chicago House, who emerged victorious with an 8-3 victory over Innovation City, essentially ending their playoff hopes. And you got to make sure you join us on Thursday for the third half. It's going to be a great show. And that's at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the official show of the Futsal Champions Series. And of course, next week, the action continues as the playoff spots inch closer together. Friday, February the 20th, it'll be Jenga versus Shoreline at 8 p.m. Eastern, live for free on the FCS YouTube channel. And then Saturday, February 21st, Lansing City versus Innovation, and that's at 7 Eastern. And Jenga, 8 p.m., taking on Ole Futsal Club. That is going to be an absolute banger you're not going to want to miss. And then the final match of next weekend, Midwest United taking on Shoreline at 7 p.m. And that's Sunday Night Futsal. But for tonight, on behalf of the entire FCS team and production squad, I'm Chris Fernandez, wishing you a happy Valentine's Day, and we'll see you Thursday on the third half on FCS YouTube channel. Good night, everyone.
We're ticking down to the final moments. Shoreline City trying to put something together. Aldoni Mendez, he's shielding off Hasevic's toe poke, finds the back of the net. Shoreline's up by 1 with a minute to play.
Wow, Aldoni Mendez just showing his intelligence to